Okay, welcome to some more mistakes, but now with tenses. So look at the first one. I don't hear about that book. And another mistake, I'm going to put this one as well. Well, this one isn't necessarily a mistake, but it often is. Yeah, I'm going to put that on there as well, because that's not correct either most of the time. Yeah, especially when you've just got that sentence with a full stop there. And it's because we use past simple, right, guys? If we know when, usually. Or if we're telling a story of this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, which should explain why number 5 is wrong if you look at number 5. But here, aren't we talking about something that happened, that is still happening over an unfinished period? Yeah, aren't we talking about an unfinished period? And of course, I want you to say, yes, Dave, we are talking about an unfinished period. Now, why? Because really, we mean, when we say, I haven't heard, which is the correct way of saying it, I haven't heard about that book. Yeah, and D, I haven't heard, and not don't, not didn't, not most of the time anyway. You normally say this, I haven't heard about that book, I haven't heard about that film, when you're talking about a new, some book that has been released recently, or some film that has been released recently. Or even, I don't know, maybe you're talking about Mozart, and you want to say, oh, I haven't heard of Mozart. Yeah, now, very few people have never heard of Mozart. But this would be heard of, by the way, and not heard about. You can say I haven't heard of that book as well, meaning I have never heard that book's name. And this is another interesting point. Hear about just means hear about the news, for example. But hear of somebody or hear of something means, have you ever heard that name before? So if you say, I have never heard of Mozart, that means you have never heard that name before, and I find that very hard to believe. You must have heard of Mozart. And so I'm trying to mention all these things just so you can see why it is I haven't heard that. I haven't heard the news, I haven't heard of that book, I haven't heard about that book, that it's coming out, something like that. So hear about and hear of, sometimes both are possible. But usually, yeah, I mean, maybe Titanic has just come out and somebody says, oh, have you seen Titanic? And you say, Titanic? I haven't heard about that film. Is it what? Is it a new film? It's got to be haven't heard. And it's because we don't know when. And actually, when you say haven't heard, isn't that a long period until now? Yes, it is. Yeah, this is just like I have been married for 10 years. I'm still married. When you say I haven't heard of Mozart, that means I haven't heard of him. And I'm still not hearing about him now, you know. Like, so that's why usually when you want to say this, it's I haven't heard about that book. I haven't heard of Mozart. I haven't heard that he has left the country. Yeah, maybe your friend's saying, "Oh, did you hear?" Or have you heard? Even better. Most of the time, it's have you heard? Yeah, have you heard that? Yeah, have you heard the news that Peter's getting married? Yeah, have you heard the news that Peter's getting married? And not did you hear? Yeah, have you heard? Meaning, have you ever heard until now? And you'll say, no, I haven't heard about that. Yeah, I haven't heard about that. Or maybe you'll say, oh, I've heard about that. Yes, I'm going to the wedding. Yeah, so please look out for present perfect. Most mistakes with tense